My wheels on Timu.
Rims on Temu.
That shit stuck in my head too.
Yeah. It's a great commercial for Temu.
Dude, T-Pain's
Using
great though.
T-Pain's voice.
Yeah, true. He probably got... he did get paid for that.
The whole thing, he got paid by who, you think? Temu?
Yeah.
Or the website?
What should we write our song about, chat? Getting new wheels on Timu. 500K. Probably got, maybe not 500,000, but I didn't think about it at first. I was like, maybe he's just on Timu a lot. I was like, no, he probably got paid by Timu.
Well, wasn't that the suggestion from the fans? Or well, the quote unquote
the
chat?
I mean, yeah. But I think he's a great content creator. I think that might be like him being a genius. You know what I'm saying?
Could be.
Yeah.
Very well could be.
His shit's great. I think he's legitimately doing the best job of any rapper as far as when they tell you, like, you got to really be on social media. People are like, you're not on TikTok yet? Are you crazy? They're like, it's a social media game, bro. Yeah. Like, I think T-Pain's doing the best job.
Him being T-Pain. T-Pain's going in.
Yeah.
I think also LaRussell. I see LaRussell a lot.
Yeah, for sure.
He's always posting.
I think he showed mainstream hip-hop just how important it is. Yeah. They're like, damn, this motherfucker couldn't come out of nowhere. But T-Pain's like been established, you know? Yeah,
he's been on for a minute.
Yeah.
He's been on for a minute.
But he's adapted. Like, he has a podcast now. He does live shows. Like, he had I mean, I just watch his shit as, like, I study him. But he did a thing called, it was like a booty pageant.
A booty pageant?
Yeah. So,
okay. He got a panel of judges.
Yes.
And the judging booties.
Yes.
Okay.
You get it? Pretty straightforward.
Right there.
But it was like, yeah, like Miss USA or, you know, anything like that.
And
but
it's like, from different states or who are the contestants?
Or I think they went like city to city.
City to city.
And then, yeah, anybody that would sign up in the city. And
I love it. I'm sure they got criteria. It's a whole thing. I'm sure.
Yeah,
like the curvature. Text, like firmness, shape. Yeah.
No, I feel you. So
sure. And this is on one of his
Instagram.
Streaming. Okay, Instagram.
Maybe somewhere else too. Probably his website. I didn't see the whole thing. Okay. I just saw like clips of it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I was gonna say it's probably like on YouTube or his website or something like that.
Right, but I also just saw it's
hilarious.
Yeah, he's doing that. He's doing the podcast. He's pulling clips from his live shows and this and that. And he's just like a content machine right now. He's always live streaming. And then he also taught himself how to... have you heard about like Blender? I think is what it's called.
Blender.
It's... you can like wear an Oculus and you can like be in like the 3D space and you can make and design... Like imagine if what he did was put himself in an all green room. And then he went in on Blender and designed it like he was in like somewhere that was like a movie, like a mansion maybe or something like that. But he like designed the mansion on a computer and then was able to like play the music video of him in the green room. But there was like a mansion behind him that he had designed in this like virtual reality.
Okay, so he designed this tool. Like, yeah, I guess he designed this in like the metaverse or with the Oculus world.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so I guess you could do it on a computer kind of too. I think Blender's probably on that too, but I think he was doing it like...
But he did it like with the headphone or had the headset on?
Yes. 85% sure I'm not fucking the story up.
Either way, he's making some sort of shit, sort of background, some sort of artistic design that you can like transpose onto a green screen like in real life.
Yeah.
That's what he did?
Yeah.
That's tight. So you like make a set?
Yes.
And you can like record a video, quote unquote, like anywhere?
Yes.
If you have like a green screen that you can just throw that visual onto.
Yeah.
That's tight.
You make any music video.
That's badass.
He's super cool, right?
Yeah.
And Blender's like...
It could be anywhere.
On the forefront of...
Blender.
Technology.
Okay.
For like... Because not very many people are in the Oculus world designing Oculus worlds yet. Because like...
It's new.
Yeah.
Relatively new.
Yeah, they're still like playing Mario Kart in the life cycle of Oculus. You know what I'm saying? But T-Pain's dope. That's what I'm saying. He's super cool. He's doing all this super cool shit.
That's tight. That's cool. Shout out T-Pain.
Yeah.
He's going hard.
I'm not saying necessarily booty pageants are super cool per se. I'm just saying like he's really... His popularity must be going up.
The concept behind, the reasoning behind why a booty pageant is
tight. Super tight. He's a monster right now.
In regards to content creation.
Yeah.
I tip my cap to you, sir. That's why I tip my cap to Gordon Ramsay for content creation.
Really? He goes off too?
Bullshit aside. Or at least content creation in regards to the sheer volume of shows that he's involved with and that he's on. It's crazy. It's a lot. It's like, oh my gosh, another one, another new show. And it's like this season ends, like, or the season just ended of Hell's Kitchen. Then like immediately the next week or the same week, it was like the start of another show that he's on, just like on network television.
What a
it's like, this guy's just fucking running it, bro. Like every day for how many years has this been? He's been in the game for a minute. Hell's Kitchen is 20 plus, like almost 30, I think, seasons deep. MasterChef, another one's like 30 seasons deep. It's like, bro, he's been in the content game, I guess the TV content creation game for a minute.
Yeah, super cracked.
Cracked out.
I guess.
Tip my cap to you, sir. How cracked out you are.
Great job.
Tip my cap.
I'd love to be at that level. But he's got to be just fucking so busy all the time.
Always recording.
How does he hang out with anybody?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I wonder what his life is like. It's like Kevin Hart. Kevin Hart's kind of like that too.
Yeah.
Like, always making content, making movies, making specials, recording YouTube content for his like channels or whatever. All the time, every day.
Well, yeah, that's a lot. I wonder what Lil Wayne's doing every day. I don't know if he's. What I'm trying to say is, I think there's successful people that don't seem to be going at that pace.
Yeah. J. Cole and like Kendrick Lamar, they don't particularly be posting on social medias too much. I don't think.
I think never.
Yeah, not very.
I think
often.
Big Sean does he does it so
Big Sean
smart,
does.
bro. Posting once in a blue moon, always posting dope shit.
A little bit, yeah.
And then whenever he's ready to drop, it was just like post. And I don't know. Just as a person, I'm like, that sounds nice. You know what I'm saying? Because yeah, Lil Russell will make you think that you got to post. You like, you will be successful if you do this. Like, just if then, just like logic.
Mm-hmm.
And then like, but you could not do this and still get successful for sure. Just like if you want guaranteed success, you should be doing these things right here.
Mm-hmm.
And then most of the people that are successful like agree with Lil Russell. They're like, oh shit, he's smart. That should be working.
Mm-hmm.
And it fucking works for him.
It definitely works. It works.
But there's different
You
paces.
get your name out there. Yeah, everyone has a different approach. I was just thinking about it while you were talking about it as well. But like in regards to Big Sean's postings, like his sort of content schedule, it definitely, because I probably would have listened to the song regardless. But like I caught his content cycle right as he was about to drop the song.
Yeah.
Precision, right? Is what it's called?
Yeah.
Yeah. So as soon as that song like dropped, or I saw that it dropped on Spotify, I listened to it pretty much immediately.
Yeah,
but I think
same.
it was partially because I was already like attentionally attached to him dropping content. It was like a post, and like there were like unrelated bars. It wasn't even like the same type of song really. Like he dropped like a kind of like a impromptu
freestyle?
music video. Yeah.
That was tight.
Yeah. And then like I think watching those things definitely like opened or made that synapse way easier to fire whenever I saw it in real time on Spotify. It was just like boop,
Yeah, same experience.
you know?
I saw the kitchen.
So that shit works. It worked on me.
Yeah.
I was like, shit, that does work. That works a lot. Like, here's like an objective example of it working in your own life. I was like, oh yeah, that shit does work.
Same example. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Shout out Big Sean.
Especially because I love Big Sean
Love that guy.
You know what I'm
I fucking
saying?
love that guy. That's my dog.
so much, bro. It's like I just see Big Sean rapping on my phone, and I'm like, oh, this is new shit.
Mm.
Oh my god. And then underneath that, he's like dropping soon. So then I started just checking Spotify every day.
Yes, sir. Bless you. God bless you.
Thank you. And then I didn't see anything. And then I woke up, same thing. Saw the precision post. And I was like, what? And then went to go
check that
play.
out.
Yeah. Shooting my shot like, pew, pew, ay. Check on my finger like, pew, pew, ay. That's how that song goes.
Yeah, it's tight.
I realized today, actually, that song, because I was reading a post that said, Big Sean drops anthems, one of the best anthems for hoopers ever. And I was like,
Okay.
and I listened to it in my head again, and I was like, this song reminds me of basketball, but like a lot of stuff reminds me of basketball because that's just like a frame I live in. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Big part of your life.
I went back to listening to Precision kind of objectively, and I was like, this song kind of does feel like it's like in the spirit of basketball. I'm shooting my shot like pew pew a, like that's the hook. I'm hitting the target up. I don't know. I just felt like there were a lot of bars that like didn't necessarily refer to basketball, but then he dropped it in March too, during March Madness. And I was like, son of a bitch, I feel like that's in there. That's in there.
Let's go.
And that's dope. Like,
Yeah, I'm with it.
if you were gonna make a song about football, but it needed to be dope, and it needed to like hit. I don't know. It was like I feel like he took all the constraints and made like a dope ass song at a good time with good marketing and get back on the map, bro. Go compete, bro. I said that like 20 podcasts ago. I was like, I wish Big Sean would compete in the meta, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, in the song, he's like, yeah, I didn't have energy to compete with your so-called bigger three, or he said that in like the kitchen freestyle, and I was like, damn, like, yeah, that was my critique. I was like, why aren't you doing the thing, man? He's like, I shouldn't have the energy for it, and I guess he had a kid too.
Energy's elsewhere.
That's a new thing that like he just started posting about that maybe a couple weeks ago, which is cool. But he didn't. I don't think he talked about it publicly. I didn't know he was having a kid. I don't think.
I think I did. I think I knew Janae. Janae was pregnant.
Really?
Yeah.
That's crazy. That makes sense though.
I think I've seen that. Yeah. But
So
that's my dog.
he's
Regardless.
back though.
Yeah.
He's in there though.
Yeah. Every time. Well, not every time. But a common motif that I've heard in regards to like talking about him with other people is sometimes they mention something to the effect of he's not getting a lot of flowers, or like he deserves a little more flowers. I think people are coming around, or it's been around, the idea that he's been underrated. I think that's been around for a while. I think it's a common carried motif amongst
Underrated?
groups.
Yeah, for sure. Well, if you don't think so, then you don't. I think early on
They're forgetting about him. He goes hard, bro.
people are like, when he's like, the more I kick philosophy, the more I'm boring to him. I think some people thought those bars were cringe. And at the same time, he was like, that's when mumble rap and trap rap got kind of popular. Was like, like after like Dark Skies Paradise, somewhere around there. And so I think that like, I don't know, man. He should have been meeting those rappers at the fucking rim and tomahawking on him. Like that's what I was hoping for. I thought he had Kanye West making his beats. He's got Pusha T in the room. Like nobody's stopping this unit, bro. But then like they stop themselves, bro. And there's no telling what Hollywood's like. Like
Not telling the reality of what the hell's really going on out there.
the drops before these drops, well, the last time Big Sean was talking and making noise, I think he was on Drink Champs. That was like the last time he was in the spotlight. He
When he dropped D2?
it was after that. This was maybe like 6 months ago.
Okay.
He hasn't released any singles, has he?
I don't think so.
I think he was just in a media run. Like I saw a lot of him.
He was in that Larry June song, right?
Yeah. So it might have been around that time.
Mm-hmm.
Good, nice call, bro.
Yeah.
Trying to think what that song's called. I can literally hear it.
Palisades?
Yeah, let's go. That's my dog. Okay, cool. So that song was great. And then the other thing is that he did those freestyles. He freestyled
Oh, yeah, he did, right.
yeah, like 4 songs.
Like on LA Leakers or some shit?
Yeah, on LA Leakers.
Mm-hmm.
But with no context. All of a sudden it's like Big Sean raps over Hurricane and it goes for like, a few,
Yeah, it was. I
million
can't remember
views.
that. Yeah. He went off on one of them bitches. I remember he goes off on some of that shit.
Yeah, for sure. He was eating.
It's my dog.
He's
Love that
great.
guy. Yeah.
Man, I'm saying. But anyways, he was saying that when he was on Drink Champs like 6 months ago, he was talking about like Kanye West more or less owed him like a lot of money. And that he was like he couldn't keep working at good music because I don't know, like I guess he
was ill will, or not ill will, but just bad vibes, or what?
I'm trying to think of the exact phraseology, but it was something like he had producer credits on songs and wasn't being paid for those songs, or he was owed money in his contract, like 10 to 20 million or something like that, and maybe it was 8 million, I don't know.
M's? We're talking M's.
M's.
This man's down some M's.
Yeah, he's down M's, and
I'm dragging some M's.
And it was
Where
on
my M's?
It was on Kanye's time. Like Kanye was literally the person that was like going broke and then selling Yeezys and then like going through his whole financials ups and downs in the last like 10 years. And that was why he left good music more or less, or it dissolved, and then he started his own thing, Dawn Life or whatever. Whenever he dropped all those shirts and stuff like that, Dawn Life Records was like the thing. And so I think who knows what goes on with that is what I'm trying to say. Like as an artist, as a rapper in Hollywood, like he literally lives in Hollywood, I'm pretty sure. Like how does all of that affect your career? Is what I'm trying to say. It's not even like, can you make art and is that art good and are people receiving it? It's like this person owes me money and I'm
The
getting
politics.
Yeah, the politics, all that shit.
Behind. Yeah, we were talking about that a little bit before the pod. Kind of like the politics that's somewhat kind of just inextricably connected to social interactions. Because it's like the narrative. We're all sharing the narrative. And I guess what is politics? Politics is, I guess we're trying to manipulate or trying to use or trying to take control of the narrative, right? We're trying to be like in on it, you know what I'm saying?
It's controlling the narrative for sure. It's
Right.
part of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Swaying how people feel about the
How
narrative.
people think and how people feel,
Yeah.
being in control of that.
Because you could drive narrative with control like that.
Mm-hmm.
Like you can be the one that says what happens next.
Yeah, there's politics and everything. Like that idea of, controlling the narrative.
Well, sometimes it's like controlling the narrative is important.
Influencing people.
I would call it setting the narrative free. Like influencing people to believe the truth is like
Yeah.
what. I mean, I don't think that's manipulative.
4 more years.
Yeah. Thank you, Governor.
Yes, sir.
No, but because, that's like I care about the narrative.
Ultimately, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But I don't want to control it and make it mine. I want to set it free and let it be what it's supposed to be.
Yes.
Because
that's what it is.
And then the people that are trying to manipulate the narrative, like, they annoy me. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, why are you doing that? Like, I don't even have to know what their motivation is or what their end goal is to just like feel the pull and tug of like reality and stuff and like balance and fairness and truth. Like, it's like I'm pretty just tapped into that. So you feel someone starting to like what's going on here? Why do we got one of those in the room?
Yeah, it's like, why are you throwing so much onto the moment? You know what I'm saying? I was trying to let the moment be. You know what I'm saying? You're just like trying to put so much on it.
Yeah, everybody's weird. I'm sure there's times in my life where I've been.
We all do that.
You know what I'm saying?
We all do our own human things.
But this shit festers, ladies and gentlemen. And I think it's crazy because as you get older, like if you're a kid and you're like, oh, no, I don't know. I'm like, I'm taking a cookie. No. I like cookies.
Yeah.
You want cookies?
Delicious.
We can share cookies. Isn't that good?
Steal it.
Yeah. Then like that festers for like 30 years and you're like, give me them cookies. Like your hands, like your whole body's in the cookie jar. And it's like getting caught in that cookie jar is like, God, your life looks like your life falling apart. It's not a smack on the wrist. But that's just a metaphor for like this shit really, same way you mature and life becomes more rich, like we talked in the last podcast, that you can fester and get really sick. And people build like personalities around like they're bullshit. I mean, it's what everybody does, you know? That's life. We're not talking about anything fucking new, bro. That's how anybody has a personality, bro.
That's what the fuck's going on.
And you can feel that in the room sometimes. Like it's crazy. And I don't blame anybody, like you just said. Like, I'm sure I got my own shit going on, you know? But like
everybody.
You have
We're
a
all
sense for that.
here.
You know what I'm saying? You should have a sense for that.
Yeah, just let it be, man. We're humming. We're trying to be humming. How we get on to that? What we're talking about? Some bitch, we out here skating.
We were talking about like current events, but did you have a thought we were trying to retrieve?
No, I was just trying to remember how we got to what we were talking about.
Energy pool narrative.
Yeah, the narrative, letting the moment be. Politics. Politics and everything.
Yeah, that's the unfortunate
and hip hop. Big Sean, my dog.
More bang.
That's my guy.
Super underrated.
That's what we were talking about. Yeah, politics and everything. So only God knows what the fuck's going on in like Hollywood, you know, like the true nature of show business. You gotta be a star, kid. Want to be a star, don't you?
Yeah, who doesn't? I'd like to be a star.
Yeah. Please, I'll do anything.
I'm saying, right?
Fuck that. I don't know. People believe the Illuminati is like a whole thing. Like there's a many conceptualizations of what that is. Like that word Illuminati is referring to.
Yeah.
A wide spectrum of what it could be and what people think it is. And then like, who knows what like the true nature as well. Like what the hell's really going on with any of that?
Dude, I don't know. But right now shit is pretty nuts. Like
shit's weird.
It was crazy. I got to work the other day and like 3 different people were like, hey, you heard about what happened to P. Diddy? And I'm like, no, man.
I saw something online. I'm not 100% sure the story.
But bro, so like 2 or 3 days later, I tumbled down the rabbit hole of figuring out what was going on.
And he tumbling.
And I'm tumbling. Like a genius. Dude.
Why, rabbit?
So apparently the FBI raided P. Diddy's house. And then he got into a jet and fled to his private island. Which is crazy. I didn't know.
And they saw him like skirt off in a jet.
Yeah. Like
busting down the doors and they just hear
More or less, that's how it was painted. No, but maybe like a day before or something like that. He knew it was going down. You know,
Okay.
he got tipped off or something like that. So I don't know exactly what had happened. Exactly.
They have what's the reasonable cause? Or what's the justification
Allegedly
for breaking this man's door down?
Allegedly, now I haven't gone too deep into this side of it. I was just like figuring out what all had happened.
Okay.
But allegedly, that he runs like a fucking like a child trafficking pedophile ring.
Pedo ring?
Yeah.
No, he's not the part of the pedo ring guy. Come on.
P Dids, dude. And
Puff.
bro, honestly, like I'd heard a lot of stuff. Like people have been talking about P Diddy on the low, and it surfaced like maybe like a year ago on social media that he's just like, I mean, shit, bro, like super gangster, super like has like hitmen that will go and like kill people if they're like causing problems for him. That he's running like a fucking a racket.
He's doing shit for real, like that level,
like the highest level. Like we're talking about
mafia.
Yeah, billionaire level of mafia like behavior. Breaking the law to make money. And I thought this dude was just like making records. But like I don't know.
Dude, what?
Yeah, I don't know for sure.
Yeah, I don't know. I seen that motherfucker in commercials. I seen him in a movie.
Dog, yeah, he fucking speaks psychologist. Like
Yeah.
He yeah, he's in movies.
So that was the I guess the partial inspiration to go raid this motherfucker's house.
Yes.
Was news on that. So what was the narrative? So then he fled to his island?
His private island, which allegedly is a fucking
another part of the ring?
Yeah. What's that guy that
Epstein?
Like almost something like that, right?
I'm sure. What the fuck out? Yeah, continue.
And then
He's still there now?
No, because those police, I think allegedly
on the island.
Yes,
his own island, his own police,
something like
his
that.
Own people.
Dude, I think they go through and like apprehend him because like, at first you're like, oh shit, he's just like on a Virgin Island somewhere and they can't extradite him and he's just fucking Pablo Escobar it out there. It's fucking nuts. But I think that they got him, and I think that he more or less like pointed the finger or I'm not sure exactly if this is just like alleged or not, but said like that Jay-Z more or less is like just as deep as he is. And he's like, y'all need to go after those motherfuckers too. And I don't know if they were just like smearing, trying to get the blame off of him or something like that. Or maybe he threatened to take Jay-Z down if they didn't fucking make it out of that shit alive, you know what I'm saying? But
so that shit's going down for real.
It feels like it's going. Apparently their careers, there's a lot of shit been going down. They've been living like a violently dramatic life, but like in the Hollywood lens, they've been trying to like hold this image and be too successful to fail, like fucking Ozarks almost. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's all fake.
Yeah,
it's all facade.
And then you just like more control every time it comes with more control until it's like I can't. Interpol's outside my private mansion in the Virgin Islands, and then you fucking lose.
I think that's why I fucking love Ozarks, man. That shit's fucking tight. Cause yeah, there's like the very end, one of the last lines of dialogue where fucking Wendy's talking to the guy, and he's like, "No, you can't just like get away with this." And she's like, "Since when?"
Yeah, bro. And
like, this is how it fucking goes. It's like I think that is how it fucking goes. And I think all this wraps beautifully into a point I wanted to bring up, which is that like, okay, so this fucking potential pedo ring going on with motherfucking guy, Diddy, Daddy, Puff Daddy. Who knows what the fuck's going on?
Allegedly the guy that got Tupac killed.
Apparently Jay-Z, fucking Suge, and the quote unquote Illuminati. Who knows who's really involved or what the fuck's going on with any of that.
I didn't want to touch on that.
Yeah, so who the fuck knows about any of that shit, dog? And I think that's what part of all that ring that goes on, because I think there's some that pedo ring that goes on. I think there's a whole fucking. I think that's a large part of what the fuck's happening, insofar as like the evil forces that are like in the world. It's like that's kind of like a common atrocity. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's like how the fuck else could we get any more wrong, quote unquote, than that? You know what I'm saying? That's like just like definitely not like good. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's pretty fucking like line in the sand.
Yeah,
I would think, right?
Between good and evil, and
yeah,
there is just isness.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was thinking
Yeah,
about that.
Sadhguru was like, get the fuck out of here with that shit, dog.
Dude, I was thinking about that all
What
week.
about that? You know, it's like I think that shit's going down like for real, for real. I think Gabby's also Victoria's stepsister. She's also like aware or like kind of in that same philosophy of me, that same school of thought of like, I think that's happening. And I'm not sure to what degree, to what level, who's involved, but I know that that's happening. And that's like, I think evil manifest or like whatever happens.
Yeah,
Like the fucking worst
pretty
human behavior, whatever the hell you want to call that.
Yeah, it's like, well,
Atrocities.
yeah, it's a fight. We need to be good because there's a fight between good and evil, and it's like there's evil because we know good. Like you probably felt love in your life, like we're
Maybe.
hopefully at some point. But yeah, but I agree for sure. That's how you end up with people that do atrocities. I think is they're deprived of that shit, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But to
Or whatever it is,
yeah, but the evil shit is it's out there, bro.
it's out there.
It's hard not to. I don't even want to attract it. I don't even want to think about it. I just, like live blissfully.
It's out there, bro.
Like,
Yeah,
but it's real.
it's crazy. And I think she had mentioned that. Yeah, I think we were talking about this also before the pod, but some crazy shit. I guess in regards to this story breaking out, like there might be more crazy stories breaking out here in the near future. Whenever this fucking eclipse happens, or whatever the hell's going on in this kind of historic event that's going to take place here in the next week and a half or whatever.
Yeah.
April 8th. It's going down. By the time this is out, this will definitely be before that. So yeah, y'all. Apparently there's a fucking eclipse going down. What's happening with that?
Yeah. I don't know for sure.
Solar eclipse,
For sure.
lunar eclipse.
But there is one of the largest eclipse of the sun. So like sometimes, you know, we'll get like really excited for a lunar or solar eclipse and you go outside and it's like,
Not much different.
yeah.
Or almost exactly the same.
Right.
Mhm.
I do remember on the last time we had an eclipse that the sky, everything was like an Instagram filter went over it. And it was like this like beige, light orange hue over the sky and all the light. And I was like, this is crazy, yo. And like, yo, that was like some minor shit, right? But this is like some major shit. Like
yeah, apparently this eclipse is about to be fucking out this world. Never seen something like this before.
yeah, it's like, but it's a 40 to 80 year lifespan on when this, which is crazy to me at all, that we have like the same type of eclipses coming around. That these eclipses are like have lifespans and stuff like that.
Cyclical natures.
Yeah.
Hold on. Let's look into this shit.
Hell yes. Because like, yeah, when people were just like Vikings going across on boats using compasses based on like where the star locations were, because you could use those as navigational points, and like these people could write like histories about eclipses because they came in like a cyclical nature. Like it's crazy to me how many anchoring forces there are in the world. And this is one of them, because it's like you were talking about earlier, this eclipse has been talked about through like ancient history, because it's
hypothetically,
right, and it's so large. Like,
how long has this eclipse been going on? You know,
Right?
way longer than we've been here,
right?
or at least as long as like our family, like
Me
our
and you.
grandparents.
Yeah, probably them too.
It's been going on for a minute, I'm sure.
Right.
Generations deep. This
It's-
eclipse.
It's supposed to be like from what I've heard, a total blackout. So it's gonna be like there's no light in the middle of the day.
What the fuck? This is on USA Today. The upcoming solar eclipse, as exciting and fun as it promises to be, is also coming with a growing number of safety warnings, both for what will happen in the sky and what will happen on the ground. In late March, we've heard warnings about potentially dangerous fake eclipse glasses, possibility for increased car crashes around the time of the eclipse, and possible air travel headaches due to delayed or canceled flights. Safety is always a concern around solar eclipses. Looking at the spectacular events. Protect your eyes. That's also another thing, right? Don't look right at it.
Don't do it.
Everybody looking right at that shit every time, dog.
Really?
Every single time. Everybody, every time. Give a fuck. Everyone's looking at that shit.
Maybe that's some kind of like that seems like our government. Don't look right at it. It'll burn your eyes.
It'll burn your eyes.
Don't look right at it. Look around.
Maybe
it.
it'll open your pineal gland fully.
You start levitating. It's like, oh my god. Could you imagine if you're in downtown 6th Street and 30 people start levitating?
Oh, he's coming. Jesus is coming right now, bro.
Oh, man.
Jesus is coming right
Start
today,
praying, bro. I just get on my knees, bro. I'm like, here we go. Here we go. This is it.
He's coming in, bro. It's
Dude.
done.
Dude, that'd be sick, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'd be tired if Jesus came back. Like, next weekend? Wouldn't that be ill?
That'd be tight.
Right?
That'd be lit.
You're like, bro.
Like, this is it. In Texas, which is expected to bear the brunt of the crowds, the state's Department of Transportation is preparing highway signs that will say, no stopping on the highway to view eclipse. No parking on shoulder. Keep moving.
Dude.
That's going to be another fucking thing.
Yeah, it's supposed to be like
That's gonna
not
be
safe.
rough.
There's no, all the flights are already booked. It's just, there's so much air. I guess I don't know. My dad told me you can't get a ticket right now for the week of the eclipse because all those flights are sold out and everybody's coming here.
That's so crazy. It's that crazy.
Yeah.
It's that crazy, y'all.
If it comes around once every 80 years, you're not gonna see it again in your life. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's supposed
100%.
to be, yeah. Just imagine no light. Like it's like 2:00 in the afternoon, but it's like midnight dark outside, and there's no moon though.
What the fuck?
So we'll see.
Yeah. The Federal Aviation Administration is offering guidance to commercial planes and private aircraft ahead of the eclipse due to high volume of traffic along the eclipse path. Arrivals can be expected lengthy delays during peak traffic periods. Yeah, it's about to be fucked.
That's the other thing that's crazy is like its max capacity is like in Central Texas, like I think just south of Austin, and like we're gonna feel that all the way here in San Antonio for sure. But being on 6th Street, it's gonna be like black. It's gonna be
The fucking
black.
the
outside.
mothership, dog.
Dude,
the
we should
mothership.
go. We should go. It's gonna literally be insane. Like people might start. I don't know. People might start purging. I don't think that they will.
No.
But I think people will.
Please
think
God, no.
That what are people gonna do? Maybe it just turns into the purge. But it's just like it reminds me of like the Fire Nation
They
attack.
start looting crazy and shit.
Could be, bro. You know what I'm
Bro, no. Please no. Please don't.
saying? Who
please don't,
knows? Why?
people.
Why do you think this eclipse is associated with mass violence?
Yeah, what the fuck is this thing? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I think it might trip people out when it's all black. Like what it does to people's brain, you know what I'm saying? When it's like there's no light outside, it might maybe in a more savage time, it always caused like fucking I don't know. Aggressive behavior is what I'm saying. And you know how like the moon
Maybe.
pulls the tides? Like
Yeah.
and then so, like, you know, women's ovulation cycle kind of like coincides with the moon.
Mm-hmm.
But like, what is that? You know what I'm saying?
What is it?
The moon be pulling on us.
Oh, so it's pulling the water, pushing the water, pulling the water, moving the water. What the fuck is that?
You're water, and I'm water.
Most of what's happening in your body is being moved by the moon.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Well, a total solar eclipse will take place at the moon's ascending node on Monday, April 8th, 2024, visible across North America and dubbed the Great North American Eclipse by some of the media. A solar eclipse occurs when the moon passes between the Earth and the sun, thereby obscuring the image of the sun for a viewer on Earth. Total eclipse occurs when the moon's apparent diameter is larger than the sun's, blocking all direct sunlight, turning day into darkness. Totality occurs only in a narrow path across Earth's surface, with the partial solar eclipse visible over these surrounding region thousands of kilometers wide. But it's gonna be hitting right into Central Texas.
Crazy.
That's crazy.
You want to be there. I want to fucking be there.
Yeah, it's gonna look bigger than the sun. That's crazy. Well,
Yeah,
anything else?
it's gonna be
Anything
like
else?
tripping, but it's IRL.
This eclipse will be the first total solar eclipse to be visible in the provinces of Canada since February 26, 1979, the first in Mexico since 1991, and the first in the U.S. since 2017. Remember that?
What happened in 2017?
We had an eclipse, or that I guess it wasn't this magnitude of an eclipse, but we had another one, I guess,
Huh.
in
That's cool.
2017.
Yeah, I believe it. They happen. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
There's been like 2 or 3 since I lived here in San Antonio. There was one while I was living here at this apartment. But I guess there's different kinds.
Mm-hmm. And then I think it says it'll be the last total solar eclipse visible in the contiguous United States until 2044.
Crazy.
I don't know. We'll see what the fuck's going down.
Yeah, maybe we're just
But-
we're just like UFC level hyping it up.
But we're hyping this fucking shit up because Gabs was talking about all this shit that, to bring it all back, was that fucking crazy pedo ring is going on. Politicians, actors, celebrities, I'm not sure who's involved, but that shit's fucking happening, dog. And I think that, or potentially Gabby was saying that this type of eclipse brings with it like crazy, like war vibes, you know?
Okay.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
There's a war going on outside on the corner. There's a
war
war on your
going
TV screen every
every
morning.
morning. That song is insane.
Yeah.
I remember, yeah. Yeah, that song's, yeah.
So I
Yeah.
was thinking about all that.
That's what we're doing here. You're right.
Yeah.
It just sucks.
So who knows? Say it ain't so.
Yeah, I think Sadhguru would say like something along the lines of, or just that philosophy. I can feel like if you conceptualize the world as a war, then you have to be someone who's living in war. But if you can conceptualize the world as a vacation, then you're living as someone who's on vacation. That would be the key difference there. But unfortunately for that philosophy, I don't think you should be a vacationer in a war. Like, if there's a war going on, you should know.
I'd rather be a warrior on vacation.
Yeah, exactly. Like, and then it's like, do I want that? And I'm like, I think I've been saying that the whole time. I think
That's
I need...
Bruce Lee, dog.
Yeah.
It's better to be a warrior in a garden than a gardener in a war.
Come on.
What you gonna do with that rake, cuh?
Yeah, dog. For real.
You gonna do shit.
For real, man.
You gotta be ready. It's also in the Bible too, right? Doesn't I came to bring a sword, something like that? Isn't that what Jesus said?
Oh no,
I'm gonna look it up for sure.
I love it. I love it. Also, yeah, I mean, he did. Like, he definitely got the dub. I feel like climactically he allowed himself to die so that we could be saved. It's fire.
Yeah, this is Matthew 10:34 through 36. Do not think that I have come to bring peace to the earth. I have not come to bring peace, but a sword. For I have come to set a man against his father, and a daughter against her mother, and a daughter-in-law against her mother-in-law, and one's foes will be members of one's own household. Because there's a war going on outside the corner.
Damn, that's fucking hard. Sorry, I'm talking about the Bible.
Yeah, that's hard shit.
Yeah, dude.
That's hard shit, Jesus.
Man, that's why we gotta lift these weights, bro.
Now we talking.
It ain't about just being yoked, dog. It's about going to fucking what I conceptualize as Play-Doh school. Like going to get my mind in that place where I'm fucking practicing discipline and settling down my own neurotic predispositions like anxiety or nervousness or depression. Like that's why going to Play-Doh school is so important, bro. You gotta like simmer down your fucking all your shit going on. Like I think everybody has their own like predisposed what the fuck would you call it? Like it's like the food if you have a snake in your heart innately, but there's like food you can digest that snake gets to eat and grow bigger. I think the food would be like your anxieties, your depression, your like neurosis, your negative brain impulses, like the things that are like weighing you down. Let's like your capacity to do, I think, like malicious or because maliciousness is like light. Sometimes it's just like a mom's yelling at her kids too much, you know, or something. Like my mom's mom would like spank them with a wooden spoon, and sometimes she would go off. That's like a little bit of maliciousness in someone's mother. You know what I'm saying? But it's like grand scale. It's like doing atrocities, but it's like I think it's rooted in the similar thing, which is like doing something like spiteful or hateful or cold-hearted because like
that you wouldn't do if you were like fully fulfilled or like whatever whatever I'm trying to allude to there. If
you didn't have this like
if you were filled with love.
Right. Yeah. Instead you've got it's the anxiety and the depression. It's the downward emotion pullers, like the gravity suckers.
Yeah. If you're fully elevated to the highest vibration of love, you would never act like that.
Yeah, never, dude. Like but people get stressed out or it happens at the individual level. Like you mismanage your life far enough that you're, you know, willing to cross lines that you wouldn't cross, you know? And some people are like, get, they like to do chaos because chaos happened to them, or they find some kind of control in controlling,
Yeah.
I mean, that just makes sense. But it's like, why are you seeking that? It's like, it's their own shit. It's everyone's own shit,
Mm-hmm.
But then you get to this grand evil level, and it's like, fuck, bro. Like,
It's a slippery slope.
dude.
And that's where it leads. That's where it leads. I think Jordan Peterson talks about that in regards to, I think there's a book he uses to like kind of bring this point about. And that's, I think the book's called Ordinary Men, I want to say. I forget the author. But it's just more or less a book about these, how ordinary people, like ordinary police officers or ordinary, your neighbors, just like day-to-day people can transform slowly over time into like crazy controlled, like killing machines to a degree. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Slowly pushing day by day,
Yeah.
like building,
Dehumanizing yourself.
becoming a Nazi prison guard.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what he talks about a lot.
Yeah, that's
It's like,
another
those are
another
just
point he
people.
uses. Yeah, they're just people.
Dude.
At one point, they were just people.
Yeah. I mean, dude, that's the thing. Is just that you're
gets
average
crazy.
fucking person.
Gotta be careful out here, bro.
I don't know how much you care anyway. Was applying. I think your average person can get swayed pretty quickly to pick on someone. Like, wait, there's one guy in our workplace that is just a server, and I feel like he's cool. He's like funny. He's like chill, but everyone loves to shit on him. And I've noticed it like just in the last week, like the range of people shitting on him, just like for fun almost. It's just like a basketball hoop. People are like, oh, hold on. Bah! And then just let me get a buck on this guy's head top and then walk out the room.
Just get a buck on this kid.
Just because it feels good.
Like, it's like a trampoline and a hoop. Just like, hold on.
Yeah, okay. Going back to my work. And I'm just like, it's so funny.
what the fuck?
I'm like, how did this become a thing?
Why? Yeah. Why?
You just start doing what everybody's doing. You like a little bit of control. You like fucking.
It's like the character in the fucking
Fuck them, they deserve it.
Parks and Rec. Jerry.
Yeah.
Just getting shit on.
Right? Why is that funny? Why is it so tropotypical?
Yeah.
There's a little piece of it.
There's a truth there in that character being played out across different stories, but it's like a commonality across stories that there's kind of usually some kind of character that catches the brunt of the bullshit or the joke making or the fun making and the whatever whatever.
Yeah.
All that shit
To the max. No,
like what? Why
I don't know.
Interesting. We're all just fucking humans dealing with this shit.
Yeah. You're super
We
right.
don't know what's going on exactly. We're all doing our best, I think.
You need to be. Because it's what happens. And what if you don't do your best to try to fix your depression? And then depression festers for 20 years. And then you're like in that place now. It's also like greed, right? Like could you identify your own greed as a child?
Probably not. Not by yourself. Not until someone probably maybe like points it out to you.
I feel like I would just feel so bad if I did something wrong. And then if someone like brought it to my awareness that I did something wrong, or like if I like one time I like went to the truck to go get something from my mom's truck to bring inside like my sunglasses or something like that, and then my dad's wallet was there. I'm like 6 years old, and I open up his wallet and there's like $1 in there, and I just like take the dollar, and then I'm walking inside,
Buck.
and then I'm like, just start feeling terrible. And then I'm thinking about if my dad found out that I fucking stole from him, like, because now I'm like, I just like took this, you know what I'm saying? And I'm like putting it together that like, oh, I'm a piece of shit. Oh, my dad's gonna think I'm a piece of shit.
He's gonna wonder where it is. He's gonna be pissed.
I'm like, well, no one has to know that I'm a piece of shit. No, they'll put it together that I'm a piece of shit. And so I just like go and I put it back, right? But that's just like one key memory of like, I feel like I always had like a self-corrective force like
That's
inside
funny.
of me.
Yeah.
And a lot of it's just like guilt. I don't know if it's because I went to like church as a kid or like what, but
Yeah, I think it's part of our ability to have forethought or like imagination, you know what I'm saying? To project into the future
yeah,
and to see like how this will play out, you know?
yeah,
I think we have that simulation ability
yeah,
kind of inherently. It's what your imagination is. Or I guess with this, one of the tools or ways you can use your imagination is to project and simulate potential realities and see which one comes out the best.
that's part of what makes us human
Yeah.
and not animals. It's because we can like,
We have that. I think I think part of connected to that thing is the ability to make you feel a certain way about it, or you know what I'm saying, that emotional attachment, and maybe guide you one way or the other.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Hopefully.
I think everyone has that.
Maybe your use of it isn't so. Because, yeah, like, for instance, that reminds me of when I was a kid and I could project a life of being, like, overweight. Parents are overweight. I'm overweight. I'll be overweight forever. And then, like, the feeling that was associated with, like, having to deal with that forever, it just was, it was easier to work out. Like, 6 a.m., early morning workouts, at least I don't, like, I'm dealing with that feeling of, if I don't do this, I'm going to have that forever. Like that thing was powerful, but I had to like imagine that, conceptualize that. But then also, other people have the capacity to imagine and conceptualize that, but it still doesn't motivate them to work out, like get jacked. You know what I'm saying? Like you hate.
What you're saying.
Yeah, you hate being overweight. You're super insecure about it. You don't want to be like this. You might be like this forever. You could just go get jacked, but like they don't. You know. So maybe not everybody has the ability to like control with that thing, or like use your creative force to like make change. I don't know.
Maybe.
I don't know.
I think so. I would think this like kind of like in the idea of a game, you know, it would make sense that all the characters are like the coding is not it's not gonna like when you make RuneScape, it's like everyone has like the character and everyone has like the way to play it. I don't think, or like I wouldn't think that one particular character would be like you just create a character and it's like, oh yeah, your character's kind of fucked.
I mean,
your stats are nerfed.
I agree with you.
It's like, what? Why?
But scientists would be like genetics. But I disagree with that.
But a little bit, yeah, because you could have literally two twins that are twins sharing the DNA pretty much down to the 0.0001%.
Preach.
And then it comes down to lifestyle. We'll separate the two. They're adopted by two different families doing two different lifestyles. They're going to come out with two different human beings.
This is what we're talking about.
That's what I'm talking about.
This is what we're talking about. So this is how you get like that in the gulag. And this is how you fucking... I think that there's like rhythms. And like if you're in a song, eventually the pull of the rhythm is just so natural. Like the base state is to act like how the people around you are acting. Like we're tribalistic creatures. So I think that's part of one. That's why I like the idea of like the people purging during the blackout, is because I'm like, well, the song is going to be red rum. All I see is red rum. I feel like it's going to be really weird. It's not going to be like lunar eclipse. Like, I don't know. Like you said, there's just this war vibe to it. I don't know if you put that in my mind or what, but it feels like, because at nighttime is when people like get away with stuff.
Yeah. The darkness, the lack of light.
Yeah, you're like, oh,
the nighttime.
I can take off my public mask a little bit. No one's watching. You're gonna get some of that.
It's way harder to see. It's way harder to see me. At least
I can get away with more.
Yeah,
I have more privacy.
You can't see me. You can't see what I'm doing.
And that's gonna be happening in the middle of the day when we're not in our nighttime chemicals. I don't know. Maybe it's like it's a trip. Maybe if we're like, I don't know. You know what I'm saying?
We're gonna start barking.
Right. But here's the bigger thing that I think about is that the mob mentality. Like, if just like when a protest becomes a riot, it's like I think that's what happens with the gulag people too. It's like you're just in a swell of energy. You're in a song, and all of a sudden you're like doing stuff, and then a lot of people start justifying what they're doing, and all of a sudden you're just still doing it until you're doing something so bad you can't justify it. And
it's a weird place to live.
Yeah, you gotta be.
It's a weird place to be.
You gotta be careful with your energy. And be careful what shit you're getting into, you know?
Yeah. You end up in a place doing something that you know you're not supposed to be doing.
It's crazy.
It's like that's life. That's it. It's like doing something you're not supposed to be doing, from like cheating on your taxes, doing something like small, like throwing like littering to like the atrocities.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's all the same vein of, or the same idea of what the missing the mark. It's all just missing the mark. It's all just missing the mark. But missing the mark is a slippery slope. You gotta be really careful.
Damn, son.
We out here, dog. Watch out for that eclipse, y'all.
Where'd you find that? Don't let it eclipse your heart.
Yeah.
Oh, your heart, 3 stacks.
Yeah. You shine through.
Yeah, you gotta be out here for
shine
real.
Through the moon. Give a fuck.
This is why you gotta be a warrior too. Is because you're gonna be. The world is a shitty song. Like the world is the rhythm of the world is not. It's inclined to maybe make you want to miss the mark. That's like the devil. That's like the whole thing. You know what I'm saying? But there's like a. That's why you got to be like ready for that and be like stand on what you're standing on. And not get swayed. Like imagine being a German police officer and being like, bro, we should not be killing these fucking Jewish people. What the fuck?
I'm not fucking doing this. I'm out.
Yeah, seriously.
I'm not fucking doing this.
Like early stages, like beginning
before it even happened. Yeah,
right. That would. I wonder how many of those men were out there. And then every month that went by, it was just more gravitational force keeping those people there. You know, slippery slope style. So you're fucking gas chambering Jewish people because.
It's your job?
Hail the master.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah, what the fuck?
You're crazy, bro.
Have you ever met that guy?
He comes around every once in a while. Like, dude, it's fucking nuts. Yeah, bro.
What the fuck? Wild. We're crazy creatures. We're crazy creatures. We're crazy powerful creatures, y'all. Be careful. You're way more powerful than you think. Time will tell. Time will show you. If you the slopes we slip on.
And I think that's how we end up with fucking mass evil, like fucking potentially a Hollywood politician pedo ring being taken down.
Shit's going down, bro. I know it is. I just don't know who's involved.
Apparently 50 Cent has a documentary coming out about P. Diddy that he's been like sitting on for a long time. Just like waiting.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, let's fucking
Allegedly trying to drop that shit.
God, man, fucking. Oh, it's crazy. Be careful out there, y'all. Watch out.
Seriously, bro.
That fuck is crazy. Well, shit, Jim, I was probably gonna try to wrap her up a little bit. I think I actually got a... Mr. Cosmo is ready. Just dropped him off. Get groomed.
Nice.
Pick up the boy now.
Naughty up. We really touched all the current events today.
Yeah, we were hitting some shit.
Yeah. Let's go.
Let's go. Love that, Big Sean. Be careful on that eclipse. I guess we'll probably make another pod before the eclipse. We'll probably talk about it again.
Nice.
This is the pre-eclipse.
The pre-eclipse. Check them out. Put it on your radar.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Well, thank you for joining us. Hope you have a great day, everybody.
Crush it. Keep killing. We moving. Upwards and onwards. Let's go to infinity.
Hell yeah. Love you. Bye.
Rolling through the city to the light show. Really ain't no telling where we might go. I just flipped the switch, I'm in my